The road to the 2016 national polls begins to appear really exciting as the frontrunners are also in the front line of mudslinging.
Mahina ang 10 hearing pa.
Vice President Binay, albeit still the top presidential contender, suffered decline in recent surveys after issues of corruption were thrown at him, including an alleged overpriced 11-story Makati City office and a so-called world-class parking building under Binay's watch as city mayor. And at the helm of the continuing property investigation against Binay is the Hacienda Binay, a 350-hectare farm with an estimated value of 1.2 billion pesos, which Senator Antonio Trillanes observed after a tour as lavish and obscene. Binay denied ownership of the said hacienda.
It's based solely on what the accusers wish to hear rather than the consideration of all the facts.
Inside the Senate halls, Senator Trillanes and his colleagues grilled the alleged Binay dummy, businessman Tony Tiu.
Ma-assure natin si Vice President Binay na itutuloy-tuloy natin itong investigasyon. Kahit maglulupasay pa sila ng mga spokesmen niya, tuloy-tuloy po ito.
Binay declined appearance in the Senate probe ever since. His allies also claim all these are part of the so-called Oplan Nognog, a plan to prevent Vice President Binay's presidential bid in 2016. But his critics challenge him to once and for all face the probe. Welcome to Opposing Views, a hard, straightforward discussion of today's most pressing issues. It seems like all roads lead to the 2016 presidential elections, when at the center of the controversy is no less than Vice President Binay, whose rise or his rank as top presidential aspirant rose and descended amid issues thrown at him. Nowadays, especially, there is a fine line between politicking and accountability. So tonight we ask, are the allegations against Vice President Binay politically motivated? Good evening, I'm Rhea and this is Opposing Views. All right, joining us tonight in our discussion is Buhay Party List Representative Congressman Lito Atienza. Good evening, Cong Lito.
Magandang gabi po.
Yeah, thank you and welcome again. Thank you for
inviting us. Thank you.
Cong Lito, regarding this question, do you think all these allegations going on against VP Binay, do you think they're politically motivated?
Very obvious. Very obvious. Klarong-klaro yan. Ito'y bahagi ng political season that has started towards 2016. Kaya tingnan natin yun from that perspective para appreciated natin lahat ng mga pinag-uusapan at lahat ng sinasabi.
All right. Thank you very much, Cong Lito. And on the opposing side is Vicente Romano III. He's a member of the Koalisyon ng Mamamayan para sa Reforma or COMPRE and is also the convener of the Black and White Movement. Good evening, Enteng.
Good evening, Rod. Good evening, Congressman.
Now, can you give us your quick view on this? Do you think that these allegations are politically motivated?
Well, siguro dapat nating tandaan lahat ng elected officials, including the senators, congressmen, even Vice President Binay, they're politicians. Yeah. So lahat ng ginagawa nila, siyempre merong political motivation. Wala namang pinagkaiba yan kapag si Vice President Binay namigay ng t-shirt sa mga biktima ng typhoons, meron ding motivation. So, itong ginagawang investigasyon, I'm sure merong motives diyan, pero siguro mas mahalagang tanong, is it serving the public good? Yung nakikita natin, itong mga katiwalian na nangyari, palagay ko, yun ang mas mahalagang pag-usapan.
All right. Okay. So, we'll start off. No? Now, I'll ask this to both you, gentlemen. Some are asking, why investigate VP Binay and why now? Is there something about the timing? Cong Lito, you first.
Sinabi ko nga, very clear, very obvious. They're hitting at the front runner in the coming 2016 elections. So, lahat ito ang purpose nito talagang dumihan at kung pwede, sirain ang magandang pangalan ng ating Vice Presidente para makahabol sila. Dahil ang layo eh.
Ito ba obvious lang because of the timing? Because it's 2 years before 2016?
By
or
the
is it by
timing,
pure coincidence? That,
by the timing and by the mode that they're doing it. Alam mo, meron tayong mga institusyon ng hustisya. Andiyan ang ombudsman, andiyan ang Sandigan Bayan, andiyan ang mga korte na kung talagang sasabihin natin nagkukulang ang isang public official, pagsakdal natin sa ombudsman. And the case of Vice President Binay has already been filed in the ombudsman. So itong nangyayari sa Senado ngayon, ano ito? This is a circus, this is a sideshow whose only purpose is to really bring the matter to public consciousness para masira ang pangalan ng ating Vice Presidente. Dahil kung ang ating pag-uusapan, talagang kasuhan at parusahan kung may pagkakasala, ombudsman ang institusyon.
Okay.
And we have to respect the ombudsman, we have to respect the Commission on Audit, because these are the constitutional bodies that are tasked
all
to
right.
handle this kind of problems for the nation.
Okay, and Teng, do you think that the VP should face the Senate and now, for example, especially now that it's happening 2 years before the elections?
Well, alam mo, kung wala naman siya talagang itatago, this is the best opportunity to clear his name. Humarap siya ron, kung ano man yung kanyang mga arguments para malinis yung pangalan niya, iyon ang pinakamagandang venue. But let me just add dun sa sinabi ni Congressman. Ano? I agree with you, Kong, na meron tayong mga institusyon na dapat nag-handle nito. Alam mo, ganyan din ang paniwala ko nung araw. Itong mga investigations na to, sometimes, no? Parang nagiging political circus. But you know, it serves a good purpose. Kasi kung titingnan mo, yung ating justice system, napakabagal eh. Halimbawa, itong PDAF, kung hindi inimbestigahan niya ng Senate, hindi ganyan kabilis yung makakarating yan sa ombudsman. At hindi makikita ng tao.
It accelerated the process.
Yung proseso natin sa ombudsman, 10 years, 15 years, wala pa rin nangyayari. So for the good of the public, especially those who are aspiring for the highest office of the land, mahalagang makita ng tao.
Kong, what do you say to that? What do you,
sinabi ni Yusek, no? You were a Yusek in government. Na mabagal, may diferensya, that is an indictment of the system itself, no? But just because mabagal, sisirain na natin ang ating constitutional bodies na talagang inaasahan natin gumana. The task and the challenge should be to work it out so that gumana ng maayos ang ombudsman, gumana ng maayos ang ating Sandigan Bayan, and justice is served and the rule of law is preserved.
But kung dito habang wala pa, let's say we don't have that yet, that fast process.
Umasa tayo, hindi tayo nagtitiwala. Mapanganib yun. Pag sinabi mo hindi ka nagtitiwala, hindi ka nagtitiwala sa Korte Suprema, hindi tama ang mangyayari sa ating demokrasya.
Pero in what
sinasabi ko, yung nangyayari sa Senado ngayon, it would be very simplistic to say, dapat umattend. Ikaw ba attend, Yusek, kung ganyan ang takbo ng usapan, ng taltalan, tinatawag kang magnanakaw, tinatawag kang mamamatay tao, haharap ka rin sa grupong gumagawa nun?
Ako po, kung wala akong tinatago, haharap ako ron para talagang ipakita ko na.
Bakit kayo nag-resign nung kayo ay tinatalakay doon sa inyong ginawang kampanya sa DOT noon? Meron kayong ginawang kampanya na kini-question ng COA na binayaran ninyo, yung pala kinuha lamang sa isang ongoing campaign sa Poland.
But let's
you gave up.
But Kong, please, with all due respect to that, let's not discuss that.
I have to mention that because sabi niya, nangyari sa kanila.
But unfortunately, that's not
nangyari.
Sorry, Kong Lito.
Pero
I'll have to interrupt you. I will have to interrupt you on this. I'm sorry, Kong Lito. I have to interrupt you on this.
Siya mismo hindi humarap.
Yeah, but that's different.
What is good for
Kasi
you?
po naniniwala ako sa command responsibility. At dahil proyekto ko yun at
You couldn't
binatigos,
face the investigation.
Maybe we'll have another
wala investigasyon.
Please, allow me. That's another show. That's another
Wala
show
po ang
together.
kaso na, wala investigasyon.
Ituturo nyo kay si Vice President pero hindi naman nyo ginagawa.
Kong, at what instance can the Senate have a probe then?
No, the
But
Senate,
they do have
and Congress are both institutions that are mandated to even inquire in aid of legislation.
Yes.
But not to start pointing at people's faces and to call them crooks and corrupt and all this. Hindi, yun ang hindi ko matanggap. Dahil yan, hindi magbubunga ng tama para sa atin. Hindi nga magbubunga yan ng legislation.
Rod,
Magbubunga yan sa paninira lang na hindi maganda para sa bayan.
Okay, and thank
It
God.
is within the prerogative of the Senate to do an investigation in the aid of legislation. Nandyan yung provision na yan. Kung ayaw niyong gawin yan, tanggalin natin yan.
Yeah, we
Diba?
should remove that.
For as long as it is there, and to me, it serves a good purpose because it exposes a lot of things to the people na kung dadaan natin sa ating justice system, hindi mawawala yung pagkakataon ng taong bayan para makita yung mga katotohanan.
I disagree with that because no matter how defective the system, we have to abide by it. What you did when you were in office is what is being pursued na sinasabi niyo. Kailangan humarap ka. Harap ka kung alam mo namang hindi tama magiging
kasi wala namang kaso sa akin.
Sinabi mo kasi, and I cannot take it, na dapat humarap siya. Bakit dapat? Dahil sinabi mo. Ikaw, hindi ka humarap eh.
Humarap ako. Kaya nga ako nag-resign eh.
Nag-resign ka.
Wala po akong kaso ng COVID.
Dahil pag hindi ka nag-resign, sasabit ka.
Now, is everything happening? And do you think that everything that's happening now in politics, especially with Binay, you think it's all gearing towards 2016?
Palagay ko, kasama na yun sa exercise natin, di ba? Dahil nga, sa akin, mahalagang makita natin.
Kasi people are curious. People are curious, obviously, di ba? It's the Vice President. He's leading all the surveys. Ngayon nangyari na 2 years before the elections. People are also questioning this daang matuwid, di ba? Na parang but why is it that it's the political enemies of the president that seem to be getting all of these Senate trials and trial by publicity, so to speak?
Okay. Yung sinasabi ko nga, ito, prerogative ng mga senador. Yung question ng timing, bakit hindi nila ginawa 3 years ago yun? Bakit hindi sila maghintay 1 year later?
Yeah, correct.
Kung saan medyo mas mainit na
So prerogative nila yun.
Prerogative nila yun, di ba?
Let me just react to that, Rod.
Yeah, let's go.
I am not questioning the prerogative and the duty. In fact, sabi ko nga sa'yo, mandato yan.
To probe.
To inquire.
Yeah.
So that we will have quality legislation. Pero yung mode of doing it, browbeating witnesses, not giving anybody an opportunity to talk freely and defend the Vice President, is very, very clear and obvious. Ngayon, sasabihin mo, hindi, yung Vice President dapat umattend doon. Bakit naman a-attend yung tao kung gano'n na nakikita mong takbo ng usapan? Ito yung inquiry, hindi naman ito prosecution eh.
Pero Kong, to the point of Enteng, he was saying that kung walang tinatago, he shouldn't be too worried.
Well, sabi nga ni Vice President magkita-kita tayo sa ombudsman, may kaso ko ron eh. Ngayon, kung walang tinatago, hinahamon ni Vice President yung dalawang senador, magdebate sa Plaza Miranda kung gusto. At pakinggan ng tao, i-televise yan para malabas lahat yung mga sinasabi nila sa harap ni Vice President na walang parliamentary immunity. Dahil pag may parliamentary immunity, argabyado ka pag ikaw ay inimbestiga sa Kongreso at ikaw ay pagagalitan.
I think yun naman, medyo moot na yun. Dahil hinamon, tinanggap. Para sa akin, basta sagutin niya, kung anumang venue niya gustong sagutin, okay yun.
Okay.
Kasi para makakita ng taong bayan talaga.
Very good. Kung yun yung purpose, lalabas yan. Lalabas sila eh.
All right, we need to take a short break. But meanwhile, we'd invite you to weigh in via Facebook at facebook.com/opposingviews on 9TV or tweet your thoughts at opposing_views. Use the hashtag OVBinayCase. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're still watching Opposing Views. I'm Rod Nepomuceno. We have with us Congressman Lito Atienza and Vicente Enteng Romano III. Our debate question for tonight are the allegations against Vice President Binay politically motivated. Now, we were debating earlier and was quite an animated discussion regarding Congress. Please allow me to finish. All right. We were discussing whether VP Binay should face the Senate. Now, let's twist it a bit. Let's tweak the question. because we were talking about compulsion, whether he should be compelled to go. But do you think that he should? I mean,
No,
do you think he owes it to the people
Ron,
to go to the
kung
Senate?
iba ang
Senate
takbo
hearings?
ng nangyaring investigasyon, I'll also be agreeing, humarap ka dyan. Kung nakikita kong tama, patas, at meron sinusunod na sistema ron sa inquiry,
Anong nakikita nyo?
masyadong one-sided eh. Tsaka there is already
Statements.
statements of guilt. Sinasabi, ito talagang ito'y nagnakaw, ito'y talagang, bakit ka naman haharap dun sa ganong klaseng forum? Ang sinasabi ko, kung tama naging takbo ng investigasyon, at tapos merong imbitasyon sa ating Vice Presidente, walang masama na pumunta siya. In fact, dapat pumunta siya doon. But if there is already a conclusion, kitang-kita natin lahat, sinasabi na sa television, eto wala na, beyond doubt, guilty. Well, bakit ka naman haharap pa doon? Anong purpose mo? Di haharapin ko kayo sa ombudsman. Ngayon, hinamon ng Vice Presidente, magdebate sa publiko para pakinggan ng tao. Yan ang gusto ni Yusek. O di, mas maganda yan, magkahaharap sila, pero walang parliamentary immunity at hindi rin sa Senado, where talagang parang torture chamber yun. Wala kang laban doon, parang panahon ng Kastila, parang panahon ng Hapon.
So we asked that, should he, of course no one can compel him. Under the law, he's not compelled. You think that he owes it to the public, Enteng? You think he owes it to the public to appear before the Senate? Even if, Senator Trillanes and obviously Senator Alan Peter Cayetano have made statements, about
He
his
owes
supposed
it
guilt.
to the public to respond to the allegations.
Kasi there are allegations.
There are allegations. Diba? But in whatever form or manner, bahala siya. He has that authority.
But he can't parry it away. That's what you're saying.
Oh,
he
hindi
can't just
pwede
parry
yung-
na
Hindi pwede
general
naman
denial.
siguro yung magpe-press con ka pagkatapos bawal magtanong. Di ba?
Because that's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Bawal magtanong.
Kaya ako natutuwa ako nung hinamon niya si Trillanes na magdebate sila. And tama kayo, para walang parliamentary immunity, para parehas ang laban. Di doon sila magharap, sagutin niya lahat nung tatanong sa kanya. But give the press also the chance to ask questions.
But Anteng, do you think do you think that they're executing a demolition job? There are people who are saying that this is a demolition job. They even have a name for it because he's the top presidential candidate for, and obviously the Liberal Party has no clear candidate yet as of the moment. Do you personally feel that, because you're not part of any party, di ba?
No,
You're not. So do you think that there is some kind of demolition job involved here?
I mean, that's the way politics in the Philippines happen. No?
That's a reality.
So, that's a reality. No? Huwag na tayo magkunwari dyan. So obviously, inilalabas tong lahat ng to kasi malapit kamukha ng sinabi mo sa opening. Election season na eh.
So it's part of it. But you're saying that it has to be
course.
done. You're saying that it has to be done.
I'm not saying it has to be done, but now that it's there, may serious allegations, dapat sagutin niya
So
siguro.
kung nandiyan na kasi, I mean, let's face it, it's already there. It's in the newspapers. It's everyone's talking about it in social media. Do you think that maybe let's not talk about compulsion or whether he should or should not from a moral standpoint, but do you think he owes it to the people now?
He owes it to the people that he clears his name in the proper forum. Sa ombudsman,
Proper
sinasabi ni
forum,
Enteng, he doesn't trust the ombudsman. I say,
I'm not saying I don't trust the ombudsman. I'm saying it's too slow.
It's a very slow process. I say, yun lang ang ating paraan eh. Pag nadimanda ka dyan, kailangan sumagot ka. At dyan talaga, magkakaroon ng due processes, evidenciary, documentary na pag-uusap at pagtatalakay ng kaso, ay hindi pwede yung bintang lang. Yan pag bintang, madadrop yan. Pero kung may dokumento, mapag-usapan at may pagkakataon naman sumagot yung kabilang parte.
Okay, let's talk about naman the merits, no? Or should I say the substantiveness, the substance, of the issues being thrown at the VP. No? One is, of course, the overpriced Makati office and parking building. Just based on what we're reading and what is being reported by the media, of course, and what's being mentioned in the Senate by the senators. Number one, the overpriced Makati office and parking building. Based on what we've seen so far, do you think that there's at least merit to investigate this?
The Senate had every right to investigate because nagkaroon ng allegation eh. At yung proseso lang naman ang sinasabi kong parang hindi naging tama from the very beginning. Dahil may conclusion na agad eh. At yung kanilang mga iniharap na mga testigo ay obviously wala naman dala-dalang dokumento. ang meron lamang sila ay allegation. Kagaya ng sinabing, yung cake sa Makati, 1,000 ang presyo, allegation. Nung napatunayan na, hindi, 300 lang ang binabayad namin. Hindi, nagkamali lang kami. Yun ang hirap pagka ang investigasyon ay kung saan napupunta. Dahil yung ebidensya, hindi naman hindi nakatatayo.
So you're feeling yung mga, at least the evidence that's being presented so far does not merit a full-blown investigation, at least not in the Senate. Oh.
What I'm saying, dahil sa hindi ito formal court investigation, pwedeng bintangan lang eh.
Yeah.
Yung magsalita yung isang, palagay mo, yung si Vice Mayor Mercado, kung ano mga sinabi ron. Pero wala naman siyang ebidensya. Ano ebidensya niya? Yung kanyang sinabi lang. Wala naman talagang masasabing totoo lahat yung kanyang sinabi. But meanwhile, durug na ang pangalan ng mga pinagbibintangan nila.
Yeah.
Ang sinasabi ko lang talaga, in search of truth, I am with Enteng all the way. To fight corruption in government, I've been doing that, Enteng. As mayor, I did my best, and all the departments that I held, I did my best. Because yun ang ayoko rin yan eh. Yan ang nagpapahirap sa bayan eh. Pero yung imbestigahan ka ng Senado na ganitong paraan, na nakikita mo one-sided, lopsided from the very beginning. Maski nakikitaan mo na ng pagkakamali, tinutuloy pa rin, hindi magiging magandang bunga. Yung sinasabi ni Enteng na katotohanan, hindi natin malalaman yan sa ganitong proseso.
Do you think, Enteng, from what you've seen, that there's been some irregularity in the process that the senators have been doing?
I think the best gauge for that, Rod, is the bar of public opinion. Alam mo, yung mga tao, hindi naman bobo yan eh. So kung ano yung naririnig nila, they make their own
judgment on conclusion.
And the survey showed na talagang na medyo may katotohanan. The fact na bumaba yung rating siya ng 11 points or 10 points, pagkatapos 80% nagsasabi na, boss, humarap ka dyan para namang malaman
even
namin.
His followers, you mean? Even his followers are saying it.
Even among his followers.
So do you think there's enough merit in the issues thrown at him that at least merits an investigation by the Senate?
I believe so.
Kasi yes. No.
That is the right of every Filipino to develop his own opinion on on the allegations. No? Pero yung sinabi na naman ni Enteng, I have to disagree with that. Dahil may survey daw, kailangan sumunod tayo. Yun ang ayoko. Dali lang.
Yun ang sinasabi ko lang na
pabayaan mo lang ako magpaliwanag. Sinabi mo yun eh. Sinabi mo na dahil may survey, pagbigyan ng Pilipino. Dahil 8 out of every 10 say, kailangan humarap ka. What I'm trying to say and tell you, hindi naman tayo dapat paghahanap ng katarungan, justice, dispensing justice, and of course, due processes to be followed. Hindi tayo dapat sumunod sa survey. Maski na 10 out of 10, maski na 10 out of 10, huwag naman tayong, si Jesu Cristo 100% sumisigaw, crucify Him. Pero nagkamali sila dahil they crucified a good man.
All right. Now, Kong, do you think that there's, and I'll ask this also to Enteng, no? Do you think there's a selective accountability and transparency on the part of the Pinoy administration? You think it's...
Very clearly, dahil alam nyo,
I mean, we had this
ang pinakamalaking iskandalo ng ating siglo ay yung DAP at yung PDAF. Hindi itong si Binay. Pero timo, wala na, nakalimutan na yung DAP issue. Parang wala nang kasalanan ngayon yung mga bilyon-bilyong piso ang talagang nakulimbat. Yung pork barrel issue na talaga namang sumira sa ating demokrasya, sa ating sistema, nakakalimutan na. At ang nakakasuhan, obviously, yung mga members of the opposition, yung mga gumawa ng masama sa pag-abuso ng pera ng bayan, hindi man lang nababanggit. Doon una, binanggit ng media, pero unti-unting nawala na. At in fact, na-exonerate, napopromote pa ngayon.
The fact that we're talking about it now. No? So, now, and then your thoughts on that. Do you think there's been kind of selective, I mean, let's start from CJ Corona and obviously Senators Jinggoy and Senator Rhea.
Gusto ko lang
sige, go
i-correct
ahead.
si Kong.
Sure.
Ang pinakamalaking skandal nitong siglong to, hindi yung PDAP, yung Garci.
Okay, alright.
At alam nyo, nung panahon ni GMA, si Congressman, saka si Mike Defensor, pinipigilan din nila si Jun Lusadang mag-testify sa Senado noon.
Okay.
Di ba? Bakit? Kasi pinoproteksyonan nila yung kanilang principal.
Alam mo,
You're returning the favor.
Alam mo,
Maybe we can talk about it in another show. No?
yan sinasabi ko sa'yo, napaka-selected ng memory ko. Yung pagkukulang nyo, nung ninakaw nyo yung idea sa Poland, ngayon gusto mo kalimutan.
Alright. But at the end of it, do you think though, your feeling is that because what you're seeing, what you're seeing now is that the Pinay administration is going after its political enemies. That's what you're seeing.
Meron kasing lahat naman ng mga senador, meron silang opportunity. Halimbawa, nandiyan naman si Senator Nancy Binay. Kung talagang meron siyang gustong paimbestigahan dyan sa kabilang panig, bakit hindi siya maghain?
Yeah. So kasi what you're saying, walang substance yung ano. Your point being that ito kasi may substance. That's why gumagalaw. Kasi most people are saying that because may laman tong accusations, kaya nagkakaroon ng momentum eh.
I am not defending anyone with regards to the veracity of the allegation or the coming out with the truth.
Yung process
ang sinasabi ko, yung proseso, hindi tama kung sa publiko lang tayo magtataltalan. Wala namang mapaparusahan dyan sa taltalan na yan. Pero dun sa ombudsman, pag yan talaga ang umaksyon at gusto ko namang umaksyon, doon sila magkita-kita para hindi naman tayo kasali rito sa gulo. Dahil man daming problema ng bansa ngayon, Rod.
Doon naman ako hindi naniniwala, Rod.
Dapat pinag-uusapan Marami kang hindi pinaniniwalaan, alam ko yun. Pakinggan mo lang muna ako. Pakinggan mo ako na maraming problema ang bayan.
Alam natin
na
yun.
Dapat yun ang ating
Matagal na yung problema. 2,000 pa.
And you think that...
Palagay ko, inimbita mo lang siya mag-isa. Nag-usap kayong dalawa
So do you think...
Ano ito makitid ang pag-iisip dito
Wala. I met you 5 minutes before the show.
Wala mangyayari dito kung magbabastusan kami.
Hindi, wala namang bastusan dito. And that's the
kaya
whole point.
Hindi ako
That's the whole point of opposing views.
Hindi, totoo yung sinabi ko. Nung sinabi mong humarap siya dapat, ikaw hindi ka rin humarap
Anyway, but do you think you were saying earlier, Kong, that nagbigay na ng conclusion yung mga senators but what they were actually saying was this is what we're saying based on the testimony of former Vice Mayor Mercado. This is what we saw from the COA report. In other words, they're laying the ground. They're laying the ground for the Senate investigation. Kasi kung general lang naman, parang, VP Binay, punta kayo dito para mag-usap lang tayo, magkapit tayo dito, baka rin hindi pwede yun. There has to be some kind of allegation and preliminary findings, right?
If the inquiry is fair and the public is seeing this, and I'm saying it, hindi ganito ang posisyon ko. Pero nakita ko naman, sinusundan ko yung nangyayari sa Senado. It's not fair, it's one-sided, it's already concluded, bakit naman sasabihin natin, pilitin natin yung Vice President? We're talking about the Vice President of the land. We're talking about our own country, our beloved Philippines. Kaya gawin natin tama ang proseso para lahat tayo sumunod sa isang paraan at hindi yung bastusan.
Beautiful point. Yes, Enteng, I'll let you do a rejoinder once you take a short break. You're watching Opposing Views.
I'm not debating with him. I'm stating my...
Welcome back. You're still watching Opposing Views. I'm Rod Nepomuceno. Still with us is Buhay Party List Representative Congressman Lito Atienza. And on the opposing side is Vicente Romano III. He's a member of the Koalisyon ng Mamamayang para sa Reforma or COMPRE and also the convener of the Black and White Movement. And our question for tonight, are the allegations against VP Binay politically motivated? Now, gentlemen, I'd like to get your reaction. Obviously, this has been... Yes, go ahead. The last point of
mag-comment
Dr. Lito, yes.
We're talking about process. Palaging iginigit ni Congressman yung proseso. Yung Senate investigation is part of the process. And it serves an important purpose. Dito kasi na ipapakita sa taong bayan yung hindi makikita kaagad sa justice system.
Okay. Yeah.
Kaya nga, it affects also our decision-making process as a people, especially when it comes to elections.
All right. So anyway, I'd like to get your reaction and discuss some comments. Obviously, this has been a very controversial topic, no, for a lot of our countrymen, and almost everyone has an opinion on it, no. I'd like to quote some important people who are involved in the investigation who are opinion makers. No? First of all, from Senator Antonio Trillanes III, he said, we will show our countrymen that VP Binay's continuous absence in the hearings is proof that he is guilty of these allegations. Kong Lito, you first.
Well,
You think that's an indication
what
there?
I can say is this. Hinamo na siya ni Vice President Binay, that's a public knowledge now, magharap na silang dalawa na patas ang labanan. Hindi sa Senado, walang immunity. They can debate this issue no end. Kung pwede sa Plaza Miranda gawin yan. Sabi nga natin, if you can defend it in Plaza Miranda, then you're okay.
Yeah. And then your thoughts on Senator Trillanes' statement?
Well, tinanggap niya na yung hamon ni VP Binay, so magandang abangan yun.
Okay. Kong Lito, your main issue is that because in the Senate, you have sort of like inquisitors or let's say someone who's above you trying to pin you down. Is that your main issue with it?
Ganun ang dating.
Hindi pantay.
Kaya hindi tama. Dahil you are going to investigate or rather you are going to allege certain wrongdoings on the Vice President of the land. Ay, kung ganun ang trato ninyo sa mga witnesses, ganun na rin ang magiging trato dyan. Magkakabastusan. Masisira ang ating respeto sa institusyon.
Yan ang nangyari. Alright.
Palagay ko naman, he will be afforded due courtesy. Nung sinabi niyang, pupunta lang ako dyan kung yung Mother Committee ang mag-iimbita sa akin. Si TG Gingona.
Yes.
Pumayag, pero hindi siya pumunta. So.
Okay. We have another statement this time from Albay Governor Joey Salceda. An impeachment process is certainly preferred than a Senate investigation because it has closure. Kong Lito, what do you think about that?
I agree with that too. Anything that would really have a conclusion, palagay ko mas tama.
Is there
magkaroon lamang ng circus, tapos wala namang mangyayari. Ang magdurusa na naman dyan, itong the very foundations of our
And
very fragile.
May closure naman to eh. Kamukha nung sa PDAF, nagkaroon ng report na naging basehan nung sinampa yung kaso sa Digambayan.
Yeah, Kong Lito, there have been Senate hearings naman na wherein it eventually led to, let's say, a report, and that report eventually led to the wheels of justice turning. No? Do you think that there's any situation in the Senate that you will agree that he will appear in the Senate? Is there any situation or any circumstance that you will agree that, yeah, VP Binay should appear before the Senate?
Basta tama ang takbo ng inquiry, palagay ko, dapat respetuhin ng Senado. I will support the prerogatives and the responsibilities of the Senate. I would want also the Congress, the lower house, to be given and accorded the same respect. And if we follow our own responsibilities and our own functions. Pero kung nambabastos na ang aking mga kapwa congressman, hindi rin ako papayag.
Yun ang nakikita mo na, no?
Hindi rin ako papayag. Pipigilin ko yan right at the outset of the hearing.
Alright.
I attend hearings of Congress and I do not allow witnesses to be browbeaten. Dahil pag ginanon mo, hindi na magiging tama ang resulta.
Yung process,
magiging masyadong partisan, magiging personal, hindi magkakaroon ng conclusion tama.
All right. Now, there's another statement, this time from Mr. Ramon Tulfo. Oplan Nognog is an invention of the Binay's camp to win the sympathy of the mostly poor and politically vacuous masses. Antay, what are your thoughts on that? You think that this is just an invention of VP
Actually,
Binay?
inadmit na nung spokesman ni VP Binay na na-conclusion lang nila yon na wala naman silang pinagbabasihan ng pangalan ng Nognog.
So wala talagang Oplan.
Wala Oplan. They just concluded, siguro, kamukha ng observation ni Kong na medyo hindi balansyado yung inquiry, the way it is being run. So tingin nila meron talagang.
So this is the part of the political side coming in. Kasi they're inventing terms, for example.
We cannot really say anything, nor I, nor you. nor the public if Operation Nognog, Nognog? Has any
Oplan
basis at all.
Nognog, yeah.
Oplan Nognog.
Yeah.
Basta masasabi natin yung nakikita natin at yung ating observations.
Okay. Now, we have another quote, this time from Senator Miriam Santiago. If you're innocent, why would you allow him to enjoy that advantage? Meaning ex-Vice Mayor Mercado. Why would you allow him to have that advantage over you since only one side will be heard by the public?
That's simply said, but hindi mo masabi yan eh. Siyempre, iba-iba rin ang ating sensitivities, iba-iba ang ating ugali, iba-iba rin ang ating expectations sa decorum, iba-iba rin yung ating expectations sa gratitude, sa mga virtues. Hindi komot nandun yung si Mercado, Vice Mayor Mercado, ibig sabihin, dapat yung Vice President dapat din humarap. Lalo't-lalo na nga, kung hindi mo gusto yung takbo ng usapan, bakit ka naman papasok pa? Patapusin mo na yung inquiry nila. At magkikita pa rin sila sa ombudsman.
Ultimately.
And precisely my point. No? Kung talagang gusto niyang malinis yung pangalan niya, that's the best venue to...
Do you think, though, that... do you think that the Vice President is doing himself a favor by just parrying all the allegations?
Actually, tingin ko
do you think it's worse for him?
He not only owes the public to explain, but he owes it to himself. Kasi hanggat hindi niya pinapaliwanag to, tuloy-tuloy tingin ko ang pagbaba ng kanyang rating.
Well, let me again interject there. I don't think the Vice President has any intentions not to explain. He will explain in the proper forum. Ang sinasabi lang naman niya, ayaw niyang makiisa rin sa circus na nangyayari. It's a circus eh.
Hindi, pero kasi yung sinasabi niya he will explain, sinubukan niya nang gawin yun, nag-press con siya, pero hindi...
There were some restrictions on the questions.
Una, walang question. Pangalawa, nangampanya lang siya ron. Hindi naman niya sinagot eh.
Itong proposed debate ngayon, ang proposal ni Vice President, kumuha pa nga ng mga deans of law colleges na mag-moderate para talagang magkaroon ng question and answer at magkaroon ng presentation.
Kung Lito, what do you think that in his press con recently, he said no questions regarding it? And
I wasn't there. I didn't see the press con. I didn't see the coverage. So I don't know.
But do you think at the very least, he should be, at the very least, when people ask him specific questions, apart from just mere denials, do you think that he should go out and probably present documents that, look, everything that Mercado is saying is false? Look.
Alam nyo, yung documents, yun ang isa sa mga critical issues dito eh. Yung documents, yung COA findings, no? Hindi nga ino-honor yun eh. Dahil nga ito'y investigasyon ng senador sa Senado, sa kanila sabihin, hindi importante yan. Hindi binibigyan ng credence yung ebidensya because it's not a court proceeding. Pero kung sa korte yun, yung COA findings magiging
relevant.
Very, very critical and very relevant. Pero sa kanila hindi. At saka yung treatment ng mga pro or rather defensive witnesses, hindi pinagbibigyan ng dalawang senador eh. Nakikita naman natin sa television yan. And that's precisely the reasons why probably the Vice President feels I'll be wasting my time.
Agrabyado na ako.
Pero maganda yung sinabi ni Senator Cayetano nung last hearing. Sinasabi niya ron, malapit na namin ilabas yung report. Pero dahil itong mga officials na Makati, hindi kayo sumisipot, then wag nyo kami sisihin kung yung report na lalabas. Isang side lang na nakikita kasi yung side nyo hindi nyo inilalabas.
All right. Now, what are your thoughts, Enteng and Kong, on the fact that Secretary of Justice De Lima is now stepping into the picture? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, kung gagawa lang naman siya ng investigation to make a recommendation to the Sandigan Bayan, I don't see anything wrong there. Ganon din naman yung nangyari dun sa PDAF case.
Do you think the fact that she's stepping in is because of I guess the media attention that the Senate hearing is getting? Do you think that that's the result of it?
Dahil naging national issue na siya. So siguro mas mapapabilis yung proseso kung talagang maimbestigahan nila ng todo.
Do you think, Kong, that it deserves the media attention that it's getting now?
Yan ang hirap dito sa ating sistema eh. Ating halalan ay nakokontrol ng
ng media.
ang mindset ng tao na i-influence ng survey. Pag nagkaroon ng survey at pinropagate ng media, malamang lamang na yung kandidatong yun. That's why I'm strongly advocating palakasin natin yung ating political party structures. Dahil yung mga dinadaanan natin ngayon, masusolve yan kung mayroong political
solid party
systems and structures para ang pagpili ng kandidato, hindi popularity lang. At hindi kung sino lamang lumalabas sa media, lumalabas sa survey. Katulad sa Amerika, kita nyo, ang proseso ng pagpili ng kandidato ng dalawang partido, napaka-tedious. Dadaan ka talaga rin sa ibaba, papanig ka, hanggang masala na, isa na lang ang kandidato ng Republican Party, isa na lang ang kandidato ng Democratic Party.
And they all stand by that candidate.
Oo, salang-salayan na hindi nadala ng anumang emotional sentimiento or anything, but hard considerations of records, track records, and integrity of the person.
Now, do you think it's a coincidence that the ones spearheading the Senate investigation seem to have political plans in 2016?
Again, very clear.
Coincidence ba yan?
Very clear and very obvious. Na may mga plano ito mga ito. Deklaradong kandidato rin sila. Natural yung kanilang pananaw sa investigasyon is to put down the front runner and to pull him down. Dahil gusto kong manalo ang presidente. Ito lang ang proseso Kaya,
what are your thoughts on that? I think that, of course, everyone's seeing that, no, na Senator Alan Peter Cayetano has not really hidden the fact that he has political ambitions. So with Senator Trillanes, do you think that that in itself gives VP Binay justification to this is moro-moro lang to?
Well, that's the way politics in the country is right now. And
In other words, wala tayong magagawa.
sa akin, mas mahalaga lumalabas ng mga issue to, especially for people aspiring for high offices.
Do you think it's part of the political, a part of our political process?
Mas maganda yan sa purging and cleansing.
Okay. Now, we need to take a short break, but don't go away. When we come back, the results of our online poll on the issue and final words of our guests. Stay tuned. You're watching Opposing Views. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Opposing Views. I'm Rod Nepomuceno. Still with us is Buhay Party List Representative, Congressman Lito Atienza. On the opposing side is Vicente Enteng Romano III, member of the Koalisyon ng Mamayan para sa Reforma or COMPRE and a convener of the Black and White Movement. So our question for tonight, are the allegations against Vice President Binay politically motivated? Now we're reaching the tail end of the show. Wanted to ask this question to both of you, gentlemen. Now, you think, Kong, Lito, you think that this is a waste of time by the legislators? You think by investigating him, it really deviates them from the other work that needs to be done by the Senate?
Kung hindi naligaw ang investigasyon, at the outset, kung naging maayos, palagay ko, it would be beneficial. It would be beneficial.
What to you was the turning point? When did you see na parang,
nung lumabas na yung very partisan and personal motivations.
Specifically po, anong what did you see?
Kitang-kita naman si Senador Cayetano at Senador Trillanes.
Yung mga statements nila.
Hindi na naging impartial, hindi na in search of truth. It's already to pull down the Vice President. So ngayon, parang ang feeling ng marami, feeling ko personal, pag-usapan na natin yung MRT, pag-usapan natin ang peace and order problems, pag-usapan natin ang ekonomiya, ang presyo ng bigas, presyo ng bilhin, yung port congestion. We're now facing a very critical point in the economic run of the country. Pag hindi inasikaso ito, we will be experiencing a totally bogged down delivery of goods. Tataas ang presyo, maghihirap na naman ang tao. So para sa akin ngayon, waste of time na ito. Itong pagpatuloy pa itong political drama unfolding, dito na tayo sa ombudsman at doon tayo umasa.
Okay. And Teng, do you think that it's worth the time of the Senate to pursue this,
Ako,
especially at this stage?
definitely, no? Kung titingnan natin yung history ng mga naging investigasyon, naging mataas ang public awareness sa mga ganitong issues. Yung sa PDAF, sa NBNCTE, sa fertilizer scam, na hindi sana malalaman ng tao na ganun pala yung extent, di ba? So, tingin ko, dapat tapusin natin to the full extent nung malaman natin talaga kung anong katotohanan dyan.
Now let's go to I guess projections. Well, ask your thoughts on what you see on your own crystal ball. Do you see an end to this drama, and do you see VP Binay losing ground in terms of the support of the people for his presidential bid with what's going on?
At this point in time, Rod, obviously the Vice President has lost ground from 41 to I think 36 yung isang survey. I'd rather believe the 36 drop, no? Because yung dalawang survey companies, hindi ko masyadong... dahil nung nakarang eleksyon, sinabi nila, ang buhay party list, hindi mananalo. Wala kami. Sa number 15, wala. Top-notcher kami. We came out at the top of the heap with a runaway number of votes, and yet sa survey nila, hindi kami kasali. Kaya hindi ako naniniwalang gano'n.
So let's go to the 36%. You think
that's a big drop from 41 to 36.
Do you think, though, that this will eventually cascade?
No, I think the Vice President, by sheer industry, hard work, and his relations with the local communities, masyadong malapit si Vice President sa tao eh. Unlike many of the aspirants who are all just floating up in the national scene, wala silang roots. Eh, hindi nila magagawang overtaken si Vice President.
You don't think it's...
Tsaka yung track record ni Vice President as mayor, sabay kami nag-mayor eh. I admired his management of Makati from a sleepy town na gawa niyang Makati City as it is now, while I was also doing my best for Manila. So I see his competence edging out eventually. People will vote for competence more than anything else.
Okay. And Tanya, your thoughts. You think that this drama will eventually lead to VP Binay kind of losing ground and eventually losing out in this presidential bid?
I think he will lose more ground. To what extent, depende siguro kung how he will handle this. No? Kaya ako naniniwala na kung talagang gusto niyang ma-control yung damage, dapat talaga sagutin niya. Kasi ang feeling ko, ang tao, okay lang.
You think lalong magagalit sila kung you're trying to avoid it?
Ang tao kasi, kung nagnanakaw ka ng tama lang, unfortunately, no, yun ang feeling ko.
That seems to be the
parang
truth.
Hindi masyado nagagalit, di ba? Pero pag nakita nilang medyo ostentatious na yung pamumuhay, medyo scandalous kasi yung pinakita yung Binay Hacienda eh.
No, again, I will have to interject there.
Sure.
Hindi tama yung i-conclude mo, Hacienda Binay yun.
Hindi, ginagamit ko lang yan yung lumalabas eh.
Hindi mo pwede sabihin 350 hectares. Sinabi na nung nagkiklaim ng owner, and I'd like to listen to him, certain Mr. Chu.
May I
He
continue?
claims that it is 145 hectares. So huwag na natin i-page yung 350 unless you have proofs of that. Then that is an empty.
I'm not here to argue for or against it.
Or the veracity of it.
Or
the veracity of the claims.
Sinasabi ko lang kung ano yung napapanood ng tao at ginagamit ko kung ano yung terminology napapanood ko. Hindi ko sinasabing totoo yun or mali.
That's the terminology used
That's the
by
terminology
I guess,
being
media people.
used, di ba? During the hearing. So, yun yung nagiging impression ng mga tao. At kung gaano sila kagalit nung Kinapoles dahil nakita nila yung anak, yung pamumuhay dun sa Facebook na kung ano-anong karangyaan.
Social media,
Ganon din yung nagiging feeling ngayon.
Do you think it will be enough to eventually, dislodge him as a front runner?
Again, it will depend on how he will handle it. Kung dun sa debate, mapatunayan niya or makumbinsin niya yung taong bayan na wala siyang kinalaman doon at maliit siya, then it might contain the damage.
Kong, you're a politician, and let me ask you, if you let's say had political ambitions, and the one who was you're going up against is, let's say, someone like VP Binay, and you knew of certain things such as, let's say, the Hacienda Binay and perhaps the overpricing. Will you employ this?
If I were an aspirant and I see Vice President Binay zooming ahead, hindi na ako tatakbo. Hindi ako mag-iisip ng katarantaduhan. I've never played my politics the dirty way.
But let's say someone came to you and said, "Sir, ako yung ex-vice mayor niya. Ako yung ex-vice mayor niya. Boss, kasama ko, kasang ko to, nakinabang ako, but mas nakinabang si boss. Okay? And I want, and you have presidential ambitions, the ex vice mayor of your potential kalaban is telling you all of these things, would you not, for example, do what
No.
Senator Trillanes is saying?
No,
is
my
doing?
character would call for, tatanungin ko, ano ebidensya mo? Hindi pwede yung sinabi mo lang. Show me the documents that will prove your statements. Then, it will become a duty on my part to really prosecute. Hindi lang sa Senado ko dadalhin yan. Hindi demanda ko yan, sa korte kami magkikita, at tungkulin ko na pagdusahin siya. But show me the documents. Otherwise, hindi kita
But you and I
paniniwalaan.
agree that
Yung sasabihin mo lang sa akin, alam mo, Senador, o alam mo, Congressman, magnanakaw yan eh. Anong preba mo?
Pero you and I agree. You and I agree that parang anything that's under the table is never documented, di ba?
Ba, hindi.
It's never
Kung meron kang dokumento talagang,
Oo.
kung marunong ka.
Alam mo, sa tingin ko naman, sina Trillanes and Cayetano, hindi naman basta maniniwala rin kay Mercado yun. Kundi makukuryente sila dyan. So, meron din silang pinagbabasihan.
You think that they probably have something substantive. Yeah, but yun nga, as a politician, you know, the debate question is whether you as a, you know, if this is a political thing, if you knew, and I know, sir, you are a very moral person, you're pro-life, and you had some, let's say, documentary evidence.
Then I will prosecute.
Would you proceed, if you were a senator, would you proceed with the Senate investigation?
Basta may ebidensya, I will prosecute.
You will prosecute?
Oo. Pero kung wala ebidensya, dahil lamang sa ikaw may sumarang loob dyan, may galit ka dahil hindi ka tinulungan, hindi ako magpapagamit sa'yo. I have experienced that many, many times as mayor. I have never succumbed to the temptation to destroy any councilor's name, any congressional, or even my predecessor.
Even when you knew something?
Even with my predecessor, I did not, nagkaroon kami ng mga paghihiwalay. Ayoko nung allegation. Kung talagang meron kang ebidensya dyan, then I will prosecute.
Okay. We have a few minutes left for your final words. So, Enteng, you first. Please give your final words to our televiewers regarding this very important debate question which everyone's talking about.
I think magandang or mahalaga ipagpatuloy yung Senate investigation. Marami pa siguro tayong makikita na hindi pa natin alam ngayon. Especially because Vice President Binay is aspiring for the highest office in the land. So magandang makita natin kung makiklear niya yung pangalan niya, well and good. Kung may lalabas siya na meron talaga siyang kalokohan, palagay ko dapat malaman ng taong bayan niya.
And kung wala naman, meaning...
Kung wala naman, yun ang pagbabasihan. So, para naman yung ating mga kababayan, meron silang intelligent basis for selecting the next leader of this country.
All right. Thank you very much. Enteng, Kong Lito, your final words to our televiewers?
Ang akin, paalala lang na tignan natin mabuti ang nangyayari sapagkat hindi komot iniskandalo ang isang tao ay guilty na. Meron tayong due process. I've always defended the rule of law and due processes to be followed whenever we have a problem similar to this. Hindi pwede yung basta't public indictment, sigawan lamang o murahan lang, tapos guilty na. We have to follow the due process and the rule of law at matuto tayong lahat dito. We should come out of it a more mature democracy.
All right. Thank you very much, Congressman Lito. And thank you to our guests, Buhay Party List Representative Congressman Lito Atienza, and of course, Vicente Romano III, member of COMPRE. Now, let's see the results of our online poll. We asked you, are the allegations against VP Binay politically motivated? Those who answered yes, 75%. Those who answered no, 25%. And that's our opposing views for tonight. Tune in again next week for another bold and engaging discussion on today's most relevant issues. I'm Rod Nepomuceno. Good night. God bless. Happy weekend.
Started towards 2016. Kaya tingnan natin yun from that perspective para appreciated natin lahat ng mga pinag-uusapan at lahat ng sinasabi.
All right. Thank you very much, Kong Lito. And on the opposing side is Vicente Romano III. He's a member of the Koalisyon ng Mamamayan para sa Reforma or COMPRE and is also the convener of the Black and White Movement. Good evening, Enteng.
Good evening, Rod. Good evening, Congressman.
Now, can you give us your quick view on this? Do you think that these allegations are politically motivated?
Well, siguro dapat nating tandaan lahat ng elected officials, including the senators, congressmen, and even Vice President Binay, they're politicians.
Yeah.
So lahat ng ginagawa nila, siyempre merong political motivation. Wala namang pinagkaiba yan kapag si Vice President Binay namigay ng t-shirt sa mga biktima ng typhoons, meron ding motivation. So, itong ginagawang investigasyon, I'm sure merong motives diyan, pero siguro mas mahalagang tanong, is it serving the public good? Yung nakikita natin, itong mga katiwalian na nangyari, palagay ko, yun ang mas mahalagang pag-usapan.
All right. Okay. So, we'll start off. No. Now, I'll ask this to both you gentlemen. Some are asking why investigate VP Binay and why now? Is there something about the timing? Kong Lito, you first.
Sinabi
The
ko
timing.
nga, very clear, very obvious.
The road to the 2016 national polls begins to appear really exciting as the frontrunners are also in the front line of mudslinging.
Mahina ang 10 hearing pa.
Vice President Binay, albeit still the top presidential contender, suffered decline in recent surveys after issues of corruption were thrown at him, including an alleged overpriced 11-story Makati City office and a so-called world-class parking building under Binay's watch as city mayor. And at the helm of the continuing property investigation against Binay is the Hacienda Binay, a 350-hectare farm with an estimated value of 1.2 billion pesos, which Senator Antonio Trillanes observed after a tour as lavish and obscene. Binay denied ownership of the said hacienda.
It's based solely on what the accusers wish to hear rather than the consideration of all the facts.
Inside the Senate halls, Senator Trillanes and his colleagues grilled the alleged Binay dummy, businessman Tony Tiu.
Ma-assure natin si Vice President Binay na itutuloy-tuloy natin itong investigasyon. Kahit maglulupasay pa sila ng mga spokesmen niya, tuloy-tuloy po ito.
Binay declined appearance in the Senate probe ever since. His allies also claim all these are part of the so-called
They're hitting at the front runner in the coming 2016 elections. So, lahat ito ang purpose nito talagang dumihan at kung pwede, sirain ang magandang pangalan ng ating Vice Presidente para makahabol sila. Dahil ang layo
Ito ba obvious lang because of the timing? Because it's 2 years before 2016?
By
or
the
is it
timing,
by pure coincidence?
By the timing and by the mode that they're doing it. Alam mo, meron tayong mga institusyon ng hustisya. Andiyan ang ombudsman, andiyan ang Sandigan Bayan, andiyan ang mga korte na kung talagang sasabihin natin nagkukulang ang isang public official, pagsakdal natin sa ombudsman. And the case of Vice President Binay has already been filed in the ombudsman. So itong nangyayari sa Senado ngayon, ano ito? This is a circus, this is a sideshow whose only purpose is to really bring the matter to public consciousness para masira ang pangalan ng ating Vice Presidente. Dahil kung ang ating pag-uusapan, talagang kasuhan at parusahan kung may pagkakasala, ombudsman ang institusyon.
Okay.
And we have to respect the ombudsman, we have to respect the Commission on Audit, because these are the constitutional bodies that are tasked
Okay,
to handle this kind of problems for the nation.
Okay, and Teng, do you think that the VP should face the Senate and now, for example, especially now that it's happening 2 years before the elections?
Well, alam mo, kung wala naman siya talagang itatago, this is the best opportunity to clear his name. Humarap siya ron. Kung ano man yung kanyang mga arguments para malinis yung pangalan niya, iyon ang pinakamagandang venue. But let me just add dun sa sinabi ni Congressman. I agree with you, Kong, na meron tayong mga institusyon na dapat nag-handle nito. Alam mo, ganyan din ang paniwala ko nung araw. Itong mga investigations na to, sometimes, parang nagiging political circus. But you know, it serves a good purpose. Kasi kung titingnan mo, yung ating justice system napakabagal eh. Halimbawa itong PDAF, kung hindi inimbestigahan niya ng Senate, hindi ganyan kabilis yung makakarating yan sa ombudsman. At hindi makikita ng tao.
It accelerated the process.
Yung proseso natin sa ombudsman, 10 years, 15 years, wala pa rin nangyayari. So for the good of the public, especially those who are aspiring for the highest office of the land, mahalagang makita ng tao.
Kung, what do you say to that? What do you,
Alam mo, sinabi ni Yusek, no? You were a Yusek in government. Na mabagal, may diferensya, and that is an indictment of the system itself, no? But just because mabagal, sisirain na natin ang ating constitutional bodies na talagang inaasahan natin gumana. The task and the challenge should be to work it out so that gumana ng maayos ang ombudsman, gumana ng maayos ang ating sandigan bayan, and justice is served and the rule of law.
Oplan Nognog, a plan to prevent Vice President Binay's presidential bid in 2016. But his critics challenge him to once and for all face the probe. Welcome to Opposing Views, a hard, straightforward discussion of today's most pressing issues. It seems like all roads lead to the 2016 presidential elections, when at the center of the controversy is no less than Vice President Binay, whose rank as top presidential aspirant rose and descended amid issues thrown at him. Nowadays, especially, there is a fine line between politicking and accountability. So tonight we ask, are the allegations against Vice President Binay politically motivated? Good evening, I'm Rhea and this is Opposing Views. All right, joining us tonight in our discussion is Buhay Party List Representative Congressman Lito Atienza. Good evening, Cong Lito.
Magandang gabi po.
Yeah, thank you and welcome again. Thank you for
Thank you for
again.
inviting us. Thank
Yes.
you.
Cong Lito, regarding this question, do you think all these allegations going on against VP Binay, do you think they're politically motivated?
Very obvious. Very obvious. Klarong-klaro yan. Ito'y bahagi ng political season that